So today we're going to talk about all the different kind of angles that happen with circles. Okay, so you should have 2 pages for notes. One is yellow, and that's the true like notes with formulas, whereas the white paper has examples that we're going to go over. So I made 2 different sheets so that you keep them side by side if you so choose. All right, so a couple of reminders about key terms. We've talked about central angles and we talked about inscribed angles on Monday. Okay, a chord is a segment whose endpoints are on the circle. A tangent is a line or a segment that intersects the circle exactly one spot. And a secant is a line or a chord that intersects, a line or a segment that intersects a circle in exactly 2 spots. So again, this is a review from yesterday, but central angles, the angle measure of the angle is also the measure of the arc. Inscribed angle, the angle is half of the intercepted arc. Okay, so that is all within the circle. But we actually have other angles that happen too. So we can have angles that are formed by 2 tangents, by 2 secants, 2 chords, or we could have a tangent and a secant. Okay, and that's what we're going to focus on today, but also the central angles and inscribed angles are still going to be mixed in. So here's an example of a tangent and a tangent forming an angle. Now we've actually done this, right? This should be a review for you. So when we talked about this, when we were learning about tangents, I said, make sure you just draw in those radii. Because remember, we have right angles, and we talked about how these 2 angles here were supplementary. Okay, now, I also gave you this formula. And the reason I gave you this formula is because this formula is going to be used a lot. All right, so just a quick reminder, we have major arcs, right? So if I look at my major arc, when it's about what part of the circle is inside the angle. So this part here would be my major arc, and then my minor arc would be the smaller part. Okay, so this formula, like I said, is going to be used a lot. So you'll notice it if I have a tangent and a secant, same formula here. Okay, so here we have a tangent and a secant that form an angle outside of my circle, right? Forms the angle outside my circle. I still have the exact same formula. So this time my major arc, oops, sorry, wrong button. My major arc is the larger arc inside that angle. My minor arc is the smaller arc inside that angle. Okay, so that's a tangent and a secant. Uses that exact same formula. When you have 2 secants uses the exact same formula. Okay, so my major arc, again, is the larger of the 2 arcs inside my circle. My minor arc is the smaller of the 2 arcs inside that angle. I think I said circle before, but inside the angle. Okay, it's always the same formula over and over again, as long as that angle is outside of my circle. Now, here's a different formula. These are 2 chords that are intersecting, and notice that my angles end up happening inside of my circle. Okay, so it's 2 chords. We're talking about an inside angle now. So it's an inside angle. Keep in mind, if this angle here is x, this angle here is also x, because they're vertical angles. So the value of that angle is equal to the average of the 2 intercepted arcs. Okay, so if this is A, this is arc A, and B would be arc B, and those are the 2 arcs that are intercepted by those inside angles. Okay, the 2 arcs that are intercepted by the inside angles. So our formula just tells us that it's the average of the 2 arcs. Add them together, divide by 2, you get your inside angles. Okay, so now we're just going to practice this, and you have your notes again, so you can lay your notes right beside it if you need to compare to what kind of angles you have. But we're just going to work through these examples now. So here we have an inside angle. So that means I need to find the average of my 2 arcs. So my 2 arcs are 53 and 175. So I need to add those together and divide by 2. So 53 plus 175 gives me 228. Divide that by 2. I get 114. So this is 114 degrees. Okay, the next problem. So this angle here, because the vertex is on the circle, it's an inscribed angle. Okay, it's an inscribed angle, which means the angle is equal to half of the intercepted arc. So I would need 2 of my angles to equal my arc. So now you could do half of your arc equals your angle, but I didn't really want to deal with decimals. Oops, sorry, that should be a 1. Okay, so I have 140 equals 141x minus 1. Add 1 to both sides. I have 141 equals 141x. Therefore, x equals 1. Okay, so just make sure you look at the setup there. Okay, on the next one, we have an outside angle, right? The angle is outside the circle. We call them outside angles. There's really not a good name for these, so I tend to call them outside angles and inside angles. So this is an outside angle. So we know the formula is 1/2 of the major arc minus the minor arc. Okay, it's made with a tangent and a secant. So I have x is equal to 1/2 of, my major arc is 129. My minor arc is 61. So 129 minus 61 gives me 68. So half of 68 is 34 degrees. So x here is 34. Okay, so the next one, again, we have an outside angle that's made with 2 secants, but it's still an outside angle. So I know my angle is equal to 1/2 of my major arc, which is 130, minus my minor arc, which is x. All right, now, honestly, I just multiply both sides by 2 all the time just to clear out that fraction. So I would have 80 equals 130 minus x. Subtract 130 from both sides. I get negative 50 equals a negative x. Therefore, x has to be a positive 50. Okay, again, an outside angle. So I need to take my angle is equal to 1/2 of my major arc minus my minor arc. Okay, so my angle, which is 6x minus 6, is equal to 1/2 of my major arc, which is 19x plus 8, subtract my minor arc, which is 62. Again, I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 to clear my fraction. So I have 12x minus 12 equals 19x. I'm going to add my 8 and my 62. Positive 8 minus 62 gives me negative 54. Okay, so now I can subtract 12x from both sides and I have 7x. I can add 54 to both sides and I get 42. Therefore, x is going to be equal to 6. And that's all I asked you to solve for on that. Okay, next one. The next one here, it looks very similar, but I did this on purpose. So remember, our angle is equal to 1/2 the major arc minus the minor arc. It's an outside angle. So my angle is 5x minus 5 equals 1/2 of my major arc, which is 190, minus, now this is where you have to be careful. I'm subtracting an entire expression, so I need to subtract 13x minus 7. So you really have to be careful because you have to distribute that negative to both terms there. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2, and I end up with 10x minus 10 equals, now in my parentheses, I really have 190 minus 13x plus 7. Okay, minus 13x plus 7. Okay, so now I can combine my like terms. I have 10x minus 10 equals, I have 197 minus 13x. Add 13x to both sides, I have 23x. Add 10 to both sides, I have 207. So 207 divided by 23, I get x equals 9. All right, so again, just be careful because this is where people goof up all the time. Okay, they forget to distribute that negative sign to both terms. Like they only try to subtract the first one, but you're really subtracting the entire minor arc. Okay, last one. This is just, again, a reminder. It's that special situation that we talked about yesterday in class. My vertex of this angle is on the circle. Therefore, it's going to act like an inscribed angle. Okay, it's going to act like an inscribed angle. So the angle is half of the intercepted arc. So I would need 2 angles to equal my arc. Or I know that if this arc is 120, I know that my angle is going to be 60. So either way you want to approach this problem would be correct. Okay, so I'll just do the easier one on the right here. So I'd have 7x equals, add 10 to both sides, I get 70. Divided by 7, I get 10. If you want to look at the left-hand side, I can distribute my 2, or I could divide by 2, either way. But I'd have 14x minus 20 equals 120. Add 20 to both sides, I get 14x equals 140. And I still get x equals 10. All right, so I tried to give you an example of all the different kinds of angles that you're gonna run into. Your central, your inscribed, your outside angles, and your inside angles. So those are the 4 main categories. Okay, so today what you're gonna do is you're gonna practice. Okay, I did write on here that you had a worksheet. I changed that since I wasn't here. You're gonna be working on Delta Math. Okay, so I have some problems that are all mixed in together on Delta Math. And I did that way you can kind of know whether you're right or wrong as you go. If you're really struggling, keep trying. We are actually going to work on more of these problems tomorrow as well. Okay, so if you can't get through your Delta Math, you're stumbling, you're stuck, do what you can, but I can help you again tomorrow in class. Okay, so we will have time. Nobody panic.